You guys up for a toga party?
Toga! Toga!
Yeah, I think they like the idea, Hoove.
They're gonna nail us no matter what we do. So we might as well have a good time.
Toga! 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 Toga!
Hey everybody, it is Mike and Dave here. We are going to be just chilling out talking. David's got a lot of questions about blockchain, Bitcoin, Ether, NFTs, how to enter the 21st century and enter this space. He's a good friend. I've known him for quarter century more, something like that. We're getting old, David. How did that happen?
I don't know about us, but you definitely. No. You can see it right here. You can see it.
Yeah. I've got probably 8 or 10 grades.
Yeah, you never
here.
age. It's crazy.
So yeah, David is another comic book professional. Actually, I think you've been in the industry longer than me. When did you get in?
When I was about 16.
Holy smoke. What was your first work?
I was doing, you know who Derek Robertson is?
Hmm?
He had an independent comic book called Space Beaver. Space Beaver. It's not what you think. And I did some stuff with him on his books, like a couple covers and pinups and all that kind of stuff. And we were living up in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
And not long after that, I got some work, more independent work. And then very shortly after that, I got some work at DC, like when I was around 17, 18.
Oh, wow.
17, just turning 18. So.
Yeah. Which part of the Bay Area did you live in?
Hayward, California.
I grew up in San Jose.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
That. I did know that.
Stone's throw away.
Yeah,
that's how I met Derek. I think at Conspiracy Comics or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually inked him on Solution.
Really?
Like one issue. That's where I learned how to use a brush.
Oh, really? Oh, you get to try out on Derek and say,
I tried out on Derek.
Did he like it?
I don't know. I don't.
Oh, so you didn't get a call back, so no.
Yeah. Dude, that was the first book I really got royalties on because in the back it was the Rune backup.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
So they were doing and I was like, I got like $2,000 in royalties off of one comic. I was like, whoa,
wow.
I like this.
That's cool.
No extra thing. So that's David. I could you have anything? We don't have to show. You want to see David's stuff, just look it up. David Williams. He's one of the best. Fantastic. I can't wait to try to figure out how to drag him into this space. A lot of guys I need to seriously drag you into this space, like Aaron and Matt Weldon, and just it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I'm behind the curve on anything new.
Yeah.
So
you got questions, bro?
Yeah. What is everything? What is what am I? What are you?
You're a brother in Christ, first and foremost.
Amen. What is NFT? What is it? What is
an NFT? An NFT stands for non-fungible token. You know what fungibility is?
Yeah. Loosely.
Okay. Loosely. All right. Well, like think of it in finance. It's like if you have a business account and you have one client gives you $1,000 and another client gives you another $1,000, it all goes into the same account because every single dollar is the exact same thing. that's fungibility, right? It doesn't matter. It all gets completely irrelevant which is which.
Mm-hmm.
Non-fungible is unique. So if you have, I make the example of music, and people say, I can't pay for something that doesn't have physicality. I'm like, you pay for music. Music has no physicality. It has something you can hear. It's digital, right? Music is literally digital. Even carving it into a record, you're moving left and right. It is a digital format. You can have 6 million versions of Purple Rain out there in the world, probably 6 billion at this point. Who knows? They are all fungible. They are all identical. They are all exactly the same. You know what else is the same as all of those? The original recording. All of the others have the value of a song, right? $1, whatever it is. The original recording has a unique, non-fungible aspect to it because it's the original. It's the one that the collectors would be like, I will give you $60 million for that, right? That's the sort of the same way you can equate a digital signature where you have a digital item, you log it onto the blockchain, it becomes a unique, non-fungible item. And any other copy of that JPEG is like every copy of Purple Rain in the world.
Gotcha.
Got it? So that's non-fungible.
Okay. My other question was...
Hold on. Zach Bradley says, what did I say? David will only come on when I'm not. I want to go work out.
It's not intentional. He caught me in a moment.
Yeah.
What are the requirements to do it? Is it all digital art? As far as, do you have to be digitally inclined, or can you still do art that's tactile with paper and pencil and stuff? Because I'm not a Photoshop person. I don't do digital art and stuff. I'm old school.
Okay, what I am currently doing, which is generative avatar projects, that, I mean, technically you could do it that way, but it'd be like old school animation, right? Where you're drawing and you're layering and you're drawing and you're layering, then you're scanning it in, and you have to fit everything properly and all that kind of stuff. It would be just a huge time suck, but it is possible if you wanted to do it that way. As far as just NFTs in general, you can very much do physical art and then scan it in and make an NFT out of it. If you're just interested in getting into this for the art aspect, and there are, or the art gallery, however you want to phrase it, aspect, there are NFTs are very wide ranging. You can literally, anything you can upload up to a certain file size. I don't know what the file limit size is. Someone in the chat might, but can be made into an NFT. Hold on. What? No, he's not in here. So yeah, but what I am doing, much easier if you get an iPad Pro and just do it. It's like,
you would say that's ideal to do it that way.
I would say it's ideal. Yeah.
Okay. Would you say, because I'm still in the comic book world and all that kind of stuff, and I'm still trying to promote that, could those things benefit one another or promote one another in some sort of way?
I believe it's possible, but what you're doing, so I was talking to a marketing guy actually about this idea, wherein if you're doing your comics, what you're actually doing is you're trying to bring people into the NFTs, right? And you're trying to bring your NFT people into your comics. So like I'm actually doing giveaways of Lone Star NFTs, and at some point in time I'll be like, you guys want the comic, but I'll probably offer the comic digitally instead, because I mean most of these guys are very, very digital. But
I mean, would you be doing something that isn't from the comic, but original Lone Star thing that is, you know what I mean?
No, I mean, the Lone Star stuff I'm giving away, I take Lone Star art and I NFT it,
Okay.
right? And I'm doing giveaways. In fact, I'll tell you what, guys, if you're watching this, if you leave a comment in the comment section after this show, someone in the comment section will win a Lone Star NFT. So make sure you do that. Leave as many comments as you can. Last night's show, dude, we got over 600 comments because I did an NFT giveaway. So crazy. But yeah, there's not, in the comic book world and in the NFT world, the Venn diagram has very little crossover. So, but you know, they are both art related. So it's not impossible that you can increase the crossover by cross promoting yourself in both spaces.
Okay. What little bit of the art that I have seen from NFT things, you know, the digital, it's weird to me. I don't know what it's anchored to, you know, because I'm so into comic book mode. And
Yeah.
so I know what Superman is, you know, I know what, you know, Bass Reeves is and all this other kind of stuff. But when I see even your stuff, when I see like the monkeys, I'm like, okay, what is this? You know, I'm like, I mean, that, I guess that's a good thing to make somebody go, hey, what is this? It gets their curiosity. But in general, I'm like, where did this come from? Like, you know,
Right, let me put some monkeys up on the screen so people know what you're talking about. All right. So here's share screen.
like if I was doing something and I started drawing unicorns, they'd be like, why is David drawing all these unicorns?
Because David wants to draw unicorns.
Yeah.
So this is called a generative avatar project. Like I said, it is, you know, overlaid attributes on top of a base character form. So you have 300 something attributes that literally can generate billions of different possibilities, but you limit it to a certain number. So I'm doing 10,000 generative monkeys, right? And they're all in a frat club. So it's kind of the theme. The first 1,000, it's toga, like toga parties from Animal House, right?
Gotcha.
And so what it does is it sort of creates a market of itself. There's a thing in blockchain called DeFi, decentralized finance, where, you know, the simplest way to explain it is that, you know, you're separating financial markets from banks and institutions, and it's going decentralized, peer-to-peer, person to person. I can trade you this for that, or I can loan you money through an exchange, and the exchange might take a tiny bit, but all of the interest will go to me. Like, instead of, you know, you go to a bank and you say, like, okay, here bank, here's my money, earn me some interest. And they'll say, okay, here's 0.5% interest a year. And then they take your money and they loan it to Joe Schmo at 17.5% interest. And then they keep the 17%, you get the 0.5%, and we all get screwed. Well, DeFi screws the banks because we get to go peer-to-peer. If you need a loan, you go to this thing, you pay much less than you would at a bank, but in return, the guy lending it gets much more than they would at a bank, right? You get that bank middleman out of there, squeezing everybody for all their money, and you're golden. So in a very kind of peculiar way, NFTs become a DeFi center. Like, it's their own, they each have a financial value, and people trade them independently with each other through an exchange. So when you have a set of 10,000 NFTs, it's like any currency or any stock or any any market, any like gold or whatever. You have a limited supply of something. You have a certain number of people are interested in it, and therefore the value of that thing is dependent on the supply and demand. If I can continue to grow the demand for this particular market, then, but you only have a supply of 10,000, right? If you have 10,000, but 10 million people want it, then the value of that thing becomes very, very big because of the rarity. There's one of the most successful ones out here. It's actually what inspired me. It's called Bored Ape Yacht Club. The floor price, the cheapest you can get a Bored Ape Yacht Club right now, I think is around $130,000.
Wow.
And these started at like, $200.
Wow.
$200 each, something like that. So a lot of these projects, they, like I said, as if you've got more demand, even right out of the gate. See, that's why I'm not launching the big portion of this until I have a much, much bigger community, because right out of the gate, if I've got 20,000 people that want these and I drop 8,000 on them and make them available, then the first guys who grab those 8,000, everybody after that who still wants them, they start bidding up the price. And then it starts trading aftermarket. And like these right now, I have a very, very small community, but they are very dedicated and loyal and wonderful people. And so positive, dude. This is such an incredibly positive community. I think you should get on Discord and familiarize yourself with my peoples. We have about 2,500 people in my Discord right now. And yeah, so the floor price, we launched it at 0.1. The floor price right now is at 0.09, but there's only one available at that price. And then it goes to 0.11, 0.13, 0.135. So, guys, there's one available for 0.11 if you want to get in there and grab that. Someone do it. Because that's barely above floor or above launch price. Does that make sense? Or is there more?
No, it does. It does. I'm a vacillate between the questions specifically about, the nuances, but also between artists, what we are. So as an art question, is this scratching an itch that you want to do? Or is it something that you're...
Dude, all my itches have been scratched, bro. I did JLA, I did X-Men, I did, I never really wanted to do Spider-Man, but I even got to draw him in some stuff. And yeah, I'm scratched out.
No, I mean,
okay, wait. To be honest, future plan wise, see, I didn't want to just stop at comic books. I want to do a multimedia company where we're producing good, quality, family friendly projects.
Yeah,
I can't do that making $30,000 on Indiegogo.
Gotcha.
If it gets to the point where someday a Funky Monkey Frat House is trading at $100,000 each, and I'm getting a royalty off of that every single month, it could get to the point where I could fund a multimedia company, right? And then I could hire all my friends who refuse to get into NFTs.
All right, that's all. I mean, these are great drawings.
Thank you. And that's the interesting thing about it is like they all do look like hand-drawn unique things individually. Like you set one aside from the rest, right? It doesn't look like something that was put together by a computer.
Now, did you have the intent of it having an animation quality of them moving their mouths and talking and all? So you had the forethought to do that? Because
no, you need to do a bunch of different attributes, right? It was my son. I told him to do that toga party bit, right? My son Elijah did the animation on this.
Very talented.
Actually, he did the music too. He did that whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you guys want to hire my son, he'll do a video for you for 1 ETH. 1 ETH. Pretty cheap by video editing standards. But yeah, so he just took all the different heads that I had done and just used them as animation.
Wow. That's awesome. I'm
Right?
sure you were impressed when you saw it. You were
I
like, oh.
I was stoked. He above and beyond what I had expected of him. He
He
kicked
had to
butt.
raise his allowance after that. He said, I'll allow you to have cheese on your burger this time.
Well, at least now I can afford to get his car fixed.
Yeah, there you go.
The transmission went out like
Okay.
months ago, so it's like sitting in the driveway. I'm like, now that we did this drop, it's like, let's get that thing fixed.
That's awesome. That's cool. That's cool. So when you're doing this, I mean, are you just set at monkeys and stuff, or do you have other ideas for
Oh, dude,
other?
no.
And
So
also,
I showed this yesterday. This is an itch. I made this card game back in 2003. It's called Pangea, and then I remade it like 5 or 6 years ago with better art that I stole off the internet. But I want to do, and I wrote a whole game doc for it about 8 years ago to take it online.
mm-hmm.
So it's weird. It's like all this stuff I've been preparing for 2 decades is now stuff that I can see actually happening through this NFT project. So this card game, it's part of another thing. It's called Dragons of Pangea. And I actually started doing the artwork for it. I did a ton of art for it. Here, let me show you some. But it was so deep and complex, what I wanted to do with that and the card game and the metaverse and everything. I'm like, this is not a rookie project. So I'm like, I need to start with a rookie project because one thing, if I'm going to screw anything up, I don't want to screw it up on this huge, complex thing that I want to do. So I had actually gotten I'd say I'm about halfway through. My green screen is kind of making this funky. But like I said, you can change the layers and stuff on all this stuff. But I'm about halfway through the number of layers and attributes I'd need to do my dragons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have other projects. Oops, cancel. I have other projects. This, it only takes roughly a month to do the artwork for one of these collections.
Okay.
So I'm not going to just do one collection and then bye. I might do, I don't know if I'm going to do dragons next. In fact, I know I'm not going to do dragons next. This is going to be what they call a bear market project, which is something it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort. It's going to be good because if I can sell through all the monkeys, then I have the money to spend on just developing stuff like this out. Right? So it opens you up to just so many other possibilities rather than, trying to grind out a comic book just to pay the rent.
When I get my iPad Pro, Elliot Fernandez is supposed to help me.
Yeah.
Learn how to use it. You got to teach me some stuff too, because
absolutely,
I don't know nothing. So
yeah, dude, I'm here. I am 100% down for helping all of my friends come into this space because I want you all to. Dude, we've been starving artists for way too long.
yeah.
This community of collectors is so generous and gracious and freaking amazing. It's if I wasn't such a manly man, I would be in tears.
All right. What was my other? Okay, now.
Everybody in the chat wants the dragons.
There you go. See, there you go. That's awesome. See what you
All
done.
Energy says the bro needs to get into NFTs. Tell him not to let all the people that can't draw squat collect all the money from their NFT collectors. That is the thing. Let me go off on my own little tangent here about my plants. My throat just got super dry like instantly. So dude, NFT avatar projects, if you go and you look them up, it's 99% absolute trash. But these people, because I don't even know why, somehow or another are convincing people to buy these NFTs, and they're literally making millions. Like I said, dude, you drop a 10,000 at $300 each, you just made $3 million, right? I want to elevate the NFT market with great artists, and I know so many great artists like you, like Ben. Ben's coming in and doing this, like Aaron, like Zach, like everybody. I want to create not just a hub for artists, but one of the things that people want in NFTs, in NFT avatar projects, is they want utility. They want these NFTs to have some particular utility beyond just looking good and being its own little market, right? So that I don't want to get into the nitty gritty because I'll start talking in words that you don't understand because it's all crypto talk, right? But use cases outside of just being art. And so I'm working with a development team to develop out an entire roadmap wherein I can build an infrastructure that allows someone like you or Ben, somebody who doesn't really know the space but just is a fantastic artist, and that is what you bring to the table, to plug in your NFT avatar projects into this system that me and the developers are gonna work on, so that anyone I bring into this system, their NFTs will automatically have utility, right? So that you don't have to worry about that part. All you have to worry about is coming up with great ideas and great art and handing it to us.
So would require the artist to give you a commission on the art that's produced?
Well, right? Not me, but the dev team. I'm a horrible businessman. I don't care about making money off anybody else. I've like even all these commissions that I was giving out to people, I didn't take a cut on any of this stuff. I was just like, yeah, dude, go. I ain't got time for this anyways.
Gotcha.
So, but the dev team does take a cut because, I mean, they took a cut for me because they do all the work. But the way I look at that is if you're doing a crowdfunding campaign, right? At the end, when you get that check, whether it's $100,000 or whatever, right? Say it's $100,000 just for sake of mathematical ease. Bro, you're going to end up spending at least $30,000 on printing, shipping, and then probably another $5,000 of your personal time in fulfillment. So you're already out the gate with 35% of that as work, additional work, right? And having to just have to pay for stuff. So the percentage these guys are taking, I'm done. I sold 750 of these on Monday, and we're done fulfilling. There's no more fulfillment necessary. So to me, it's like, and plus, there's no way I would have gotten this done this quickly without the development team and all of my plans for building out all the network and all the everything else. It's nothing I could do on my own. So the dev team, they're coming on. They understand my vision. We're going to work out a much bigger, inclusive sort of way to just bring on great artists. And then by that happening, I really intend to be the hub where, look, if you're looking for NFTs and it's not something that someone stuck a freaking pencil up their nose and scribbled on a thing and they're convinced you to buy it for an investment, but it's like just a group of legitimate, awesome artists building this new space of quality, right? And usability and utility. Then that's what the Funky Monkey Frat House is about. Like it's gonna be the frat house. All you guys who come in and then do your own projects, you're gonna be frat house alumni, and it's just gonna be. I got dreams, bro.
As you should. As you should. You know, everybody.
Evan Ford.
everybody should be willing to fail big,
Yep.
or if you don't fail, you'll
didn't try.
succeed at it. You'll hit it right on the
Yeah.
dead center.
You didn't fail, it means you didn't try.
That's right. That's right.
Evan Ford says, just checked out Bass Reeves. Damn, that's good stuff. I told you,
Thank
David
you.
is one of the best. I'm telling you right now. So all of you in the chat have to just help me drag him kicking and screaming into this.
Now, again, this is just naivete talking. All of this digital money and that isn't really there, or is there, or whatever. How do you go about your regular life paying with digital money?
All right. Well, I gotta
go to Burger King and get me a burger. You can't pay with,
Well, there's on-ramping accounts that let you get in and out of fiat. So I use Coinbase. I've used Coinbase for 5 years now, and it's tied to my bank account. And so when I literally, do I have it in here? No, my wife has the Coinbase card. So I have a Coinbase card. It's a credit card, right? Dude, it's just like this. Have you ever held a physical dollar from your PayPal account?
No.
Do you have a PayPal card?
No, my wife does. She handles
All right.
all of.
Does she pay with those digital dollars at the store?
Yes, she does.
It's the exact same thing.
Okay.
Except for I keep in my Coinbase account, I try to keep as much of my money in crypto as possible because I don't believe in the US dollar anymore. So, but like if I'm at the store and I'm like, I go to pay for this has actually literally happened to me. I went to the store, it was $70. I ran my Coinbase card and it got declined. I got on my phone, got on my Coinbase account, moved money from crypto to it's another crypto, but it's a $1 crypto, so it's called a USD coin. I moved it there, and then I ran my card again. Literally, it took about 30 seconds.
Okay. Wow.
To just move. It's that simple. This is
So
all
you don't touch paper anymore. It's just all.
It's funny, dude. It's this whole mental thing. I see paper dollars. I literally just see paper.
Wow. Okay.
Because that's all it is. It's cotton turned into paper with ink on it, and it has no more value than. Well, it's I mean, if you paid attention to this stuff at all, it's designed to devalue at 2 to 3% a year. That's why a dollar in 1913's time is, I think, like 13 cents today.
Wow.
That's the Fed stealing our money from us, our life's blood, our blood, sweat, and tears and dreams that we use, and then we convert that into a medium of transfer called the dollar. The Fed has been stealing from us.
Hey, did I just see a laser sight on you? It's like, you better quit telling this truth, man. They're gonna be like,
they'll get me like they got what's his face from what was his name? The one that he just had a quote unquote heart attack. Breitbart, yeah.
Yeah, man. All right.
Evan Ford is already naming your NFTs for you, the Buckaroos.
Okay. Okay. I'll write that down. Hold on.
And he says, pretty soon you'll be able to run your Coinbase card anywhere. It's a MasterCard. I literally, anywhere that takes is it a MasterCard or a Visa? I don't know. It's one of those. But I haven't been anywhere I can't run my Coinbase card. And then if I can't, it's a debit card. So I could just go to an ATM and pull that disgusting paper money out. So
there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I had another question. So NFT and Bitcoin.
Ben Herrera's watching.
As he should.
He said it's cool you're on.
Yeah. Of course it is. So NFT and Bitcoin, they're like heavily married together as far as.
Actually, no. Bitcoin it's on a separate blockchain, and I don't think there's any NFTs on it. NFTs are on on smart contract based blockchains, which is so basically a smart contract is a digitized escrow. So rather than having a bank or some third party hold money so that there's a trustlessness involved in a transaction, smart contracts execute upon certain parameters happening. So it's like if I put money into this thing, the smart contract automatically activates whatever the contract says to do. So I give this money here, the contract says give him an NFT. There's no third party, there's no, that's it. So you have to have a smart contract based blockchain in order to run these kind of trades.
So when you're talking about the paper money gets devalued, but Bitcoin, it goes up in value, right?
Bitcoin does go up in value. Bitcoin also goes down in value. I believe that Bitcoin will probably peak around the middle of December this year. That's my own personal projection. And then for about 2 years, it will decline in value, which is a great time to accumulate more, because the next 2 years after that, it will be going back. See, Bitcoin has an event called the halvening, wherein every roughly 4 years, at a certain block point in the blockchain. So it's called a blockchain because it's a series of blocks that are a block of information linked to the next block of information, linked to the next, right? And it becomes a chain. So at a certain block, the difficulty of mining Bitcoin doubles. And because of that, the production of Bitcoin gets cut in half.
Okay.
Law of supply and demand. The demand continues to increase. The supply gets cut in half. That's why we have these crazy, last cycle we went from around, I think 2 or maybe less than 2,000 to 20,000. And then it peaked and then it came down. And then now are we at 58,000? Bitcoin's climbing today. Hold on, I'm going to look. But yeah. So, and my expectations, Bitcoin will hit, Bitcoin is at, shoot, I only have that. I think Bitcoin is going to hit somewhere between 200,000 and 300,000 this cycle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's at 57.7, so almost 58,000 now. And we're just about to hit that launch pad parabolic run up to December, I believe. Because it's cyclical. It does this up and down every 4 years.
So how long have you been into this Bitcoin thing?
5 years. So I went through the last cycle.
Gotcha.
I bought Bitcoin at 3,000 at before that previous cycle, but I sold it out and I got into all these altcoins. But yeah, at that peak, I was looking at my phone like every 5 minutes, man, because holy crap, I just made another freaking $1,000. It was just going and going and going. And then I didn't understand the cyclical nature then. Otherwise, I would have sold out at the peak.
Yeah.
But I just held, and I held through the down market, and when I lost 95% because I was in mostly altcoins, and altcoins are way more volatile than Bitcoin. And so it was like,
wow.
Mike, you not in the BitBoy camp of 120 max this run? No. And BitBoy's like the largest YouTuber on crypto, but BitBoy said we were going to peak in September. And 6 months before that, I was like, no way, we're peaking in December. So I might be wrong, but I believe that the cyclical nature also has something to do with the seasons, right? Like, what happens in Thanksgiving. There's a reason the last 2 times it peaked, it was December 16th and December 18th, right? It was like the week before Christmas. People started cashing out their Bitcoin, probably for Christmas presents, right? And that started the cascading fall. And then the last Month before that, that's when it went really crazy. What happens a month before that? Thanksgiving. What happens at Thanksgiving? Families get together that haven't seen each other all year, and they say, what have you been up to? And they say, oh, I just made $1 million in Bitcoin. And then they're like, Bitcoin? How do I get into that? And then that's how you see this giant run up. That's what I think happens. That's why I think it's seasonal, and why the peak was so close together the last two times, and why I'm calling December 17th as the peak this year. Sorry, that might have been too much information.
Nerd.
I know.
All right. Well, what would be the how does a person like myself invest or get into Bitcoin off the bat? Just
The easiest way is just getting a Coinbase account. Here, I'll just drop it in the link. I'll drop a link in the chat for anybody. Copy link. So if anybody has not yet gotten a Coinbase account, it really is the easiest way to get in and out of Bitcoin. And they have a bunch. I don't even know how many. They probably have over 100 different altcoins on there as well. I like to diversify personally. Right now, I only have half a Bitcoin. I used to have 2, but I diversified that into altcoins. But it is the most, because altcoins can have these crazy runs. Like I said, they're super volatile, so they may lose 95% of their value. But you hit a couple of the right altcoins, they may 100x in value, right? Whereas Bitcoin 56, it at best it might 5x from here, right, to the peak. But some of these altcoins could still 20, 50, 100x by the peak. And so I'm almost all invested in altcoins. Although right now, since what happened a couple days ago, I am mostly invested in Ethereum.
now, what's Ethereum?
Ethereum was the first smart contract based blockchain. And so because it was the first, it took the basic idea of security protocol from Bitcoin, and it added these smart contracts to it that allow people to actually build other businesses on that blockchain using those smart contracts. And so ultimately the smart contracts, it turned what Vitalik used to like to compare, like he'd say that Bitcoin was a Swiss Army knife. You could do, 20 different things with it, right? But Ethereum was like a smartphone, because people could just keep creating programs to go on top of it, and you could just do a bazillion different things. So that's why because it's the first mover in the space, Ethereum is the biggest platform in the cryptocurrency space, and also why most of the NFT market is on Ethereum. And it's trusted. It's expensive because it's a proof of work. I want to get into all that stuff. It costs a lot of money for the miners to maintain the system, and when it gets super congested, just like in the summertime, more people are driving, so the gas prices go up, right? Well, there's times in the week where when everybody wants to get on Ethereum, what they'll do is, it's not one set price to pay the miners for a transaction. People will start bidding up the price so that their transaction will go through first. And when that happens, you get these gas wars, and the gas can just get crazy. But they're intending on solving that. But here's the thing. Because that happens, scammers are far less likely to try to do anything to you on ETH, because every time they try to set up a little trap or something, they have to pay this gas, right? So it becomes a lot safer, because it becomes way too expensive for scammers to try to get you on Ethereum. There's another blockchain, which is an ETH layer blockchain, but they've made it almost free to use. But scammers are like all over it because it's like free. So anyways, probably more information that you need. That's what Ethereum is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What is the downside to Bitcoin, Ethereum, uh, doing the NFTs and all that kind of stuff. Like, because it's this thing, could the government come in and just shut it all down because they don't like the system?
Well, let's put it this way. China has tried to shut Bitcoin down about every 6 months for the past 5 years.
Oh, really? Wow. And they couldn't
And
do
that's
it.
China, a totalitarian, authoritarian state, has
Okay,
kept
gotcha.
trying to shut down Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if they can't do it, then I guess it's as safe as safe as could be. Sheesh.
That's right.
That's funny. All right. Well, I mean, again, once I start getting my head out of all of this for a minute, we could talk more about it. And once I get my iPad Pro, you could set me on the path to figuring this stuff out. Because honestly, I'm not really into all the. I mean, I could tell you're really into it and seeing how numbers go. And most artists were trained not to be business oriented. You know what I mean? We're just trained to do this.
Yeah, you just want to sit down and draw. I get it.
Yeah.
It's just, it does interest me. So I started. Look, this is what got me into it. You ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Nope.
All right, he's this guy, and he's a billionaire, and he wrote a book about how, like, growing up in Hawaii, his dad was like a school teacher and more or less a socialist, but his best friend's dad was a businessman, and he understood, how to make money. And so it's a whole story about his how he came up and learned all of this stuff about how money and markets and all this stuff works. But the most important aspect, get your butt out of the camera. Max.
I love it. All right. Let it stay. Let it ride.
The basic thing is, and this was what resonated with me, is when I was young and stupid, I got a credit card, and I would make this joke when I was buying things that were very expensive. I say, I'll just put it on Future Mike. Yeah. And then I became Future Mike, and like I wanted to kill Past Mike, right? But Past Mike was gone because he became Future Mike. And now Future Mike was strapped with all this debt. He was like the opposite of that mentality. His thing, if you boil it down, was pay yourself first. Pay Future Mike first, right? Pay Future David first. However much you make, take a set percentage. Every check, if it's $100 or it's $1,000 or it's $10,000. If it's 5%, it's 5%. If it's 10%, it's 10%. Pay God first. Pay yourself first, right? Out of what's left, and put it into something that's not a liability. Your house is a liability. Your house is not your greatest investment. This is the one thing he's like, everybody is taught all of this completely wrong. Your house is a liability. Put it in something, whether it's gold, stocks, if you can find a way to put less money into real estate development or real estate, like rental houses and stuff. It's great nowadays because there's so many options. You can actually there's places where you can pool money into like business development rentals, right? There's different ways to invest money. You just got to do a lot of homework in it. But his bottom line was you pay yourself first, and then over time, eventually your asset column that is generating money, your money is making money instead of you making money, right? Mm-hmm. You're always going to have bills. You're always going to have your mortgage. You're always going to have all that stuff. If you don't get into the habit of paying yourself first, you'll never find financial freedom unless you win the lottery. And then you're just going to blow all that, right? So if at some point your asset column is making you more money than your grind or your work, right? Say you make $7,000 a month. At the point where your assets are earning you as much or more as your job, that is financial freedom. At that point, you can choose to work or choose to not work, right? You're not a slave to the table or to the computer or your boss or whatever.
Gotcha.
And so I read that book because my son's economics class made him read it. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll read it too. So I read that book and I was like, wow, that totally changed my mindset. And that's when I at around the same time, someone had introduced me to cryptocurrency. And I'm like, I just started watching videos. And dude, when I started watching videos, it was like, what language are these people speaking? I don't understand any of this. But it's like learning a new language. Eventually, just from being in that space, you start understanding what they're talking about. And, I don't know how long it took me, but, I speak fluent crypto now. So I can explain this stuff to you guys. And I try to.
You're a Kryptonian.
I'm a Kryptonian. And I've come to Earth to save you.
I'm going to use that as my thing for crypto. I'm gonna make them T-shirts. Don't rip it off.
Yeah. So that's why it's so I'm just saying it's like if you want to delve into that space, then take a half an hour a day and just start watching some of these crypto channels. I could point you in the right direction. BitBoy Crypto does a fun channel, and he really gets into he gets into a wide spread of stuff going on. And don't worry about it sounding like a foreign language, because eventually you start picking up the words and you start understanding.
Well, send me some of the ones that you think that would inspire me or get me on the right track.
All right, but you have to think of it like you're purposefully trying to learn a new language. Like, I don't want to sit here and listen to all my Japanese tapes to try to learn Japanese.
I got you.
Because there's no benefit in it. But this could actually make you financially independent.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not delusional that I'm going to be doing comics forever. I mean, my whole thing is, as far as me doing creator-owned things, it's my voice finally getting to say these things, but I don't want to do them like this perpetual. My things have a beginning, middle, and end, and I just want to have my piece with it and be done with having to do comics. So that's why I'm curious about it. Not that I won't produce art, but I don't want to produce on this level of this breakneck pace of I got to do, pencil and ink a page every 2 days, and that's tired. Yeah,
I get it, man. I get it. We've lived the same life for so long.
Exactly.
Except I stuck it out in California.
Yeah, you're crazy. Yeah, that's why I had to move. That's why I had to move to Albuquerque. I said, "Oh, affordable houses, okay." Yeah, oh, I could pay this cash and just own it. All right, I'll do that. And that's what I did.
Evan says something nice. He said, "Any artist that knows Mike is blessed for his knowledge in crypto." Thank you. What a kind thing to say. Dennis says, "David, I got into crypto after hearing Mike preach. You can do it."
You can do it.
You can do it. Hey, did you see the clip that I got? And it was, partially inspired by you. It's like every time Aaron doesn't come on the show.
Hey, Aaron, where are you? Where is Aaron right now?
Ron at. That's right. That's where I got it from.
I know.
Ron.
Oli, Oli. He says, "David, I'll tell you what to draw. You draw. We send you money."
Okay. There you go. Oh, I hope all is well with your family, Oli. It's been a while since we talked.
Oli's so I'm launching, like, from the whole big kerfuffle on Monday. We managed to pull out another 151 of the Funky Monkeys in the togas, and we're going to be launching those on Saturday at 5:00 p.m. It says right there, Toga drop, adopt a monkey, second chance, 151 lonely monkeys for sale, Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if anybody missed out, I know Oli was like, when is that drop happening? Because he wants to get in on it. A lot of people missed out. So Saturday, 5:00 Pacific Standard Time. David, you said we only had an hour. We got 5 minutes left. What else? Got any last minute questions, or you want to just tell people how they can follow you and promote you? And I want to get you on the Discord. So if you have other questions, you can ask the guys in the Discord. Like I said, the friendliest bunch of, I've never seen a community this great. I mean, we haven't had to kick one person out yet, and we're up to like 2,500 members.
Well, I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat, and the best to you guys, and blessings and all that kind of good stuff. And expect to see Bass Reeves number 4 here soon, hopefully next month, hopefully. And the rest of them are going to wrap up soon. I think they're going to do a collected edition of the first 3 for people who missed those. And then soon after that, I'm tinkering away at the creator-owned thing. And hopefully, those things will gel together a lot faster here soon, because I want to, get in on the love that people are getting from the community, and be able to talk directly to the fans.
Yes.
And
Dennis here apparently wants to buy your first NFT, whatever it is. So get on the ball with that.
I appreciate it, Dennis.
And he cannot wait for the next Bass Reeves.
Awesome. So I hope to get some cool comic books in people's hands, the kind of comics that we grew up on, and loved and
80s.
appreciated.
80s stuff. That's what Lone Star was meant to be. Like, like an 80s comic.
This I'm not trying to revolutionize the genre, but I'm trying to, produce the kind of things that I grew up loving. It's kind of like a love letter to comic books, instead of anything overly contemporary.
Amen. Evans Ford says, drop all that, start tinkering on the Buckaroo's NFTs, bud. Your work is awesome. It is, Dave. Again, I can't say it enough. David is one of the best in the entire history of the comic book world. So I should have put some of his art on the screen, but I'm really, really lazy. So Google him, David Williams comic book art, and you'll see just
David BROHAWK Williams, and then you'll see all of it. Because
there you go.
The stuff from DeviantArt, and I think the stuff from my Instagram, and that stuff is on there. So you could, or go to DWAM's art on Instagram.
DWAMs. Yeah, they see your stuff, dude. They're just going to be begging you for NFTs. I promise. Awesome. Well, that's about it, guys. Do remember Saturday, 5:00 Pacific, we're going to be dropping the last 151 togas that are going to be for sale. Be there or be square. Also, I'm going to be giving away a Lone Star NFT in, what time is it now? Let's see. I'm not even going to give it a time. When I see that we have 1,000 comments under this video, I'm going to give one of you guys a Lone Star. I'm going to give 3 of you guys Lone Star NFTs. So, and I'll be announcing it in the Discord. So pay attention. It'll probably only take 15 or 20 minutes. I'll be in the Discord when we hit that 1,000 mark. 3 of you are going to get free Lone Star NFTs from the Gone with the Wind set. So, David, thanks for being here. Love you, bro.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, guys in the chat, and support Mike in his endeavors. He's a good guy.
Aw, it's true. right, God bless everybody. I'm gonna run the video again.
Yeah, I think they like the idea, Hoove.
They're gonna nail us no matter what we do. So we might as well have a good time. Toga, toga, toga.